And the Philadelphia Eagles lose to the San Francisco 49ers. Final score 23-19. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Philly Sports Now, a Philly fan podcast. My name is Zach. With me is Andrew. And we're back to talk all things Philly sports now that the Eagles have lost their first home playoff game under Nick Sirianni. And I mean, what a loss it was. Just absolutely brutal. And there's a couple of this game was realistically not a bad game. The Niners were good. The Eagles put up the fight. But in reality, their issues comes down to this exact statement. And it's the Eagles did not score a touchdown in the second half. That sums up the biggest issue of this game and the biggest issue of this season, which was the offense. This offense was not able to deliver, and when put on the biggest stage, they did not deliver. Now, I said going into this game, I wasn't afraid because Jalen Hurts specifically, but Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, AJ Brown, they were all performers on the biggest stage. They knew when to play. They did not. They did not play. I will say, it seemed like, at least visually, Jalen Hurts wanted to play. Like there was a lot of emotion coming out of Jalen Hurts, and you could see he was pissed. And he's a man of pride, and we all know that he hates losing. But it really looked like the one that comes to mind. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I remember the play was just a terrible call, and Jalen Hurts was just pissed, and you could tell he just didn't agree with the play, and then it didn't work out, and that was that. And that being said, Kevin Patullo probably gets fired this week. Probably loses his job, if not tomorrow, Tuesday. I think Eagles are known to fire on Tuesday and not Monday. Um, but yeah, just an ugly offensive game. Defense is fine. We'll get into it. This is your raw thoughts and emotions coming at you. We put up a podcast today. This is going to go up tomorrow. Andrew, I mean, what do you got?
I'm with you. I mean, we talked about it in the pregame. Like my biggest concern, I said, was the Eagles beating themselves and doing what's happened all year, is where your offense looks great to start the game, and then you get outclassed in the opposing coach making adjustments, and then the Eagles not having an offensive coordinator ready to make the adjustments. And it was the same thing. I mean, you look at the first drive, you go right down the field, you score a touchdown, then you answer back, and and then how many times you have a chance in great field position to do something, and you just went three and out, and you just didn't do anything. And it goes to show how stale and predictable this offense was. And
I mean, Andrew, the best part of that is there was a point in the fourth quarter where it was up to the Eagles defense, and Andrew texts, he's like, Eagles need to get an interception or a turnover, I forget your exact wording, and then the Eagles can go score and win the game. And it was like, yeah, if only. And on that exact play, the Eagles got the turnover, they got the interception, and then what happens? The offense doesn't deliver.
man, and it just, the way the game went is, you knew the defense had to set them up in good position, and you failed to score on the first interception from Mitchell, and then the second one you luckily got the field goal. But you got to turn those into touchdowns. And I know this team preaches you got to win the turnover battle, but the turnover battle is only good if you capitalize on it, and you didn't capitalize. And then you had that punt that I don't remember the exact yardage the punt went for, but the wind kept it inside the 50, and you started on the 49ers territory and you went three and out. Like it was the same thing over and over again with how predictable the offense was. And I mean, don't even get me started on the play call. I mean, it was. I mean, we talked about it a little bit. Jalen Hurts' comments as he was kind of calling out Kevin Patullo and kind of laughing about how little he's run the ball. And we talked about how important it was to get Hurts to start running, and they didn't use him in the run game.
No.
Like they didn't, the only quarterback draw they physically called was at 3rd and 14. When you're not getting that. Like, you set up a 4 yard or an extra 4 yards on the field goal. Like, this offense, and that's the sad part, is I think every fan has said it, every national media has said it. This offense is at its best when Hurts is running. It opens up the field so much more. And I think I said it in our group chat, but like, when the Barkley started off great, and then when the run game took a stalemate, I mean, that's when you use the quarterback draw, especially, is get the run game back going by opening up and letting, like, they knew who was running the ball at that point. It was always going to Barkley, because you weren't. And that was the difference. I mean, you look at the 49ers, they get the touchdown, the trickery play. Like, we have no creativity in our offense. And that goes back to the offensive coordinator. And that's the sad part. It was every single game almost this year. And we talked about it every time. The Bills game, the Lions game, the Packers game. Like you started good and then you just won games because your defense. And unfortunately today, your defense got beat.
Yeah,
And I'm not saying the defense's fault, but in the end, they usually came up with that
no,
stop, and they
but
didn't.
I mean, we talked about it, right? The defense can only do so much. The defense did their share. I mean, you said it. There were two interceptions that were both by the same Mitchell, right? I
Yeah, they're both Mitchell.
now I gotta fucking edit this. God fucking damn it. The defense had two interceptions and they were both by Mitchell, and it shows that the defense did their part. It's a playoff game in the NFL. You can't expect this to be a 10 to nothing game at the end. Like this isn't 1950. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
this is a big field, or this is a big stage, and these are high scoring games. They're not going to always hit the over for our gambler friends, but like when it matters, you need to score. And like that's such a stupid fucking thing for me to say because it's like, oh, the offense needs to score, but this offense didn't score. That was the problem. It and I said it. I think I said it before the season started regarding Patullo. And I've sat here and I've given him time after time, chance after chance. But it really comes down to I think he wanted to be the smartest man in the room. And does that necessarily mean actually be the smartest man in the room? No. But what it means is when you get a job and you have to show you're smarter than your predecessor. And instead of just following the formula that works, instead of just doing the thing that's set up to not fail, you try something different. And he just was not able to do it well. He was not able to do it. And he is just an absolute moron for not adjusting this game. To come out and not score a single goddamn touchdown is absurd.
Yeah, it's un it can't happen. That's basically. I mean, with the talent on this offense, or the talent on this offense, there's no reason you should not have scored a touchdown in the second half. No reason. And then Dallas Goedert gets two touchdowns in this game in the first half, and you barely use them until that final drive, and then you try to force it to him twice. Like you went away from what worked. You know how we laughed and joked about when you rested the starters and Tank Bigsby was having the game of his season, then you went away from, and you always go away from what worked. It was the same thing today. You went away from what worked. And I don't want to hear no Lane Johnson excuse. Honestly, the offensive line played great.
They
Like
did. They absolutely. I mean,
Hurts had a ton of
evident
time.
by the
Barkley,
running in the first half of the game. Evident that they were playing well. And then even in the second half, when Barkley finally started getting going, I guess that was in the fourth quarter. But it was Tom Brady made the comment too. It was like as soon as Barkley gets through the line of scrimmage, he was going. He was doing fantastic, and the offensive line was doing that for him.
and the I mean the one thing I would have done different, mainly with Sirianni, would have been when Hurts gets sacked on that last drive. You're not getting the ball back. I would have called the timeout after that sack, calm the team down, reset everything up, and then go back at it with that second 11. I thought they. I didn't like
Oh my
rushing to
god,
the
dude!
line. That
As soon as that happened, I was like, the game was over
yeah,
because
it just
very
killed it.
specifically, there was a moment where, and again, it wasn't Brady; it was the other guy who I forget, but he said something along the lines of, or maybe it was Brady, but they said something along the lines of, where you don't want to rush because then San Francisco gets the ball with over a minute left or whatever, right? And I said to Valerie, I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, they're running on momentum right now. If you stop this, they lose. They literally stopped it, and they literally lost the game.
That's honestly one of my biggest pet peeves in sports is you don't want to get scored too early. I don't care when I score. You have to score to win the game. Like
Yeah.
I'd rather score and then give up the touchdown. Like I mean, I don't care how much time's left. You need to score to win the game. Like just go score. Like it doesn't matter how much time's left. Like you're not going to win the game if you don't score. I mean, and especially with how good the defense, how good the defense is. Like you have to trust that if you do score, that you can hold them within a minute. Like
And
I
I think that's the thing that really pisses me off is the San Francisco offense really wasn't that good. It really wasn't. It just they outplayed us, man. They just literally outplayed the Eagles offense.
yeah, outside that first drive, I mean,
Yeah,
that first
that
drive was
first drive,
terrible,
I
and
thought we
then
were about to lose 40 to nothing.
but even if you go back to that first quarter, you go for it on that fourth down and give 49ers fantastic field position, then your defense stops them. Like the defense did their job, and then you come up with the two turnovers. Again, it was the failed execution by the offense, and I mean, we'd be crazy not to mention it, but for all the complaining he did, I mean, way too many drop passes for AJ
Oh
Brown.
my god, I
I
can't
mean,
believe I forgot about AJ Brown. Sorry. You keep going.
I mean,
Oh my god.
I mean, that's just inexcusable. I mean, yeah, he's got to make at least four of those catches he dropped. Like
He had,
the two that were back to back.
oh
I
my
mean,
god. Oh my god. And
make one of
I
them.
gotta say, it looked like Sirianni and AJ. So sorry, back up. So AJ Brown had a solid three dropped passes, like three in his hand passes, and at least two of them were touchdowns. And I just I have sat here again. I've sat here and I've defended AJ Brown this season because I'm a big uh I like seeing Howie Cook in the offseason. I think he's great all year round, but I like seeing Howie Cook in the offseason, and I trust their judgment in season. And man, AJ Brown last year, he was a big dramatic asshole, whatever. But then they go and win a Super Bowl. Like you put your money where your mouth is. I respect that. You can do whatever the fuck you want in those situations. All year long, he's been a problem. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. You know what they did? They gave him the ball, and he literally didn't catch it. So yeah, I'm done with AJ Brown. I thank you for what you've done, but I can't miss you if you don't leave. Hang him up. Get Devontae Smith moved up to number one. I don't care. It was absolutely the fact that AJ Brown dropped those passes was so bad. The one that was literally in his hands and he would have had a touchdown that would have won the game. That would have won the game. And for all his bitching and complaining all year round, I just you, you gotta perform. You gotta perform when it comes to time. And this was it. This was the stage. This was the moment. And you failed. You failed. So I Jalen Hurts was pissed. Nick Sirianni was pissed. AJ Brown, you're to blame in that situation. Hurts looked great.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of like what Sirianni. It's in a
I
moment where
completely
it's
stand with Sirianni.
huge
Just
back
saying
to
that.
back, miss catches there by Brown. Like again, you don't know what he says, obviously, but I mean, obviously with some language, but I'm sure it was something along like "Wake up, we need your effort." Like that. That was the like that. That's where it's annoying. Is like you have to wake up there, and I think part of it too is how slow he was coming off the field, and a chance to get too many men on the field, or delay game penalty, and he's like, "Get off the field, like hurry up, like don't just stand there." Like it was part of it. So yeah, it's just a mess there in that
I fully
situation.
I
I would be it's curious. I'm curious what the off season looks for that too.
a AJ Brown or Sirianni telling him like you wanted the ball, get the ball. Like that's
Yeah,
literally all he had to say to him. And AJ Brown could have reacted one of two ways. He could have been pissed off that he would get talked back to, or he could have woken up and he could have caught the ball. And guess what he didn't do? Catch the ball.
yeah, exactly. And it's yeah, and he had a good game, but did Devontae Smith had that bad drop across the middle too late in the game there. So a lot of drop, and then I mean for a playoff game and this late in the season, there's way
Even
too many
Barkley had a
penalties.
drop or two.
Like
I
the penalties were another thing in this
oh,
game. Like I mean it just uh, too much. Like it just you can't have all that in a playoff game and expect to win.
I kind of think look, another thing I said this year, and I stand by it. Look to the Eagles to be NFC favorites next year. I there is too much talent on this team for anything less than that. And I stand by that statement, but I do think the Eagles needed the kick in the teeth that was today in this season to remind themselves that they're not effortlessly Super Bowl champions. They have to go put their all to go win next year.
Yeah, it's all going to depend on. Yeah, I mean, if the Rams go win the Super Bowl or get to it, I think they'll be up there as the favorites too. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But again, well, I'm curious the way this offseason goes. I mean, there's a lot of questions in terms of what do you do with AJ Brown. Like, I'm curious when his comments come out and in this game. It's gonna be interesting. And yeah, what happens with the offensive, the play calling? Because here's the thing: we know Nick Sirianni backs all of his guys up. Kevin Patullo is Nick Sirianni's guy. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about that before. So there's no as much as we're ripping on him and rightfully so. There's no guarantee he's going anywhere because of Nick. Again, Nick likes his guys in there, and it's going to be interesting. And
Yeah,
it's going to
but
be interesting too if Howie and Jeffrey Lurie stand by it because we saw how that ruined Doug Peterson's relationship. So there's a lot of stuff to go around all around there.
I sorry, I keep interrupting, but I will add, like, I just wanted to say, I do think Howie has made the best management decisions. I mean, so what? Hertz has had a different offensive coordinator for the past 4 years straight, every year, right?
Yeah,
Something like
every year.
that.
Yeah, even
And that's
he
what
lost
like
two in college too.
essentially like I know Nick Sirianni gets first look at him, but like Howie Roseman has ultimate say at this end of the whole thing. So I trust that if Howie doesn't fire Patullo, that there is some internal trust there that this can shift. But it would shock me if he doesn't. Like I think right now we're currently I'm missing post game. It would not shock me. Sirianni's probably getting asked about Patullo's job, and he's probably saying, "Oh yeah, it's it's too early. It's nothing to worry about. Whatever, blah blah blah." And then tomorrow he's gonna be like, "Yeah, we're gonna take a look at everything, blah blah blah." And then Howie is gonna come out and fire. Like it's not gonna be a Sirianni decision. And I like Nick, but you are correct when it comes to his guys. He's too close. And that's okay. But that's why Howie is there to make those decisions. And I'm all for like I stand by what I said all year, which was giving this team the season to figure it out. You come off a Super Bowl. I don't want an offensive coordinator fired mid-year. That's the most dumb shit thing I've ever thought of. But you did have the season. It crashed and burned in this playoff wild card game. Like you have to figure something out. And to not move on from him would be surprising. Um yeah, I guess I don't really have a follow up because if they don't fire him, I will be shocked. But at the end of the day, I gotta trust Howie.
Yeah, and reading after the game, I saw a tweet, and I don't know if you remember Patullo's comments earlier in the year when he's like, "Sometimes you just run the ball to run the ball." Well, here
Yes.
sums that up. In the second half, he ran the ball on 3rd and 13, 2nd and 18, 2nd and 13, and 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10, I don't care as much, but like the other three, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
2nd and 18, you run like throw the ball, go get 10 yards, and move forward. Like it just, and again, it was just, and that's what's the sad part was, and we've always talked about the guy growing with the team is like they're 18 games, not one adjustment. Like it was so predictable, and it's. I mean, again, it's like you said, it's gonna be a Howie decision in the end, and maybe even a Jeffrey Lurie decision.
That'd be interesting. But I mean, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie have two Super Bowls. So like I can't we have to see what's gonna happen. But I gotta say right now, the two people on the hot seat are absolutely Kevin Patullo and AJ Brown. I could not care less if AJ Brown gets traded, and that hurts. That hurts for me to say because again, he's my Kelly Green jersey in my closet. He was one of my favorite players for the past few years. Like I mean, vividly love the memory of AJ Brown getting traded to the Philadelphia Eagles, and you have the video one-on-one call between Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown. Like forever an Eagle in my mind. But this year's just this sucked. This absolutely sucked. And today he needed to catch those fucking balls, and he did it.
Not 100% right. And that's the thing, and that's why it's not too is like if you do move him, you're going to get something good back, right? It's not like
Yeah,
you're going to get terrible things and put your franchise back a ton. You're going to bring in some good talent, and it's nice to have a guy like Devontae Smith, who I truly believe can be a one, as you already mentioned, and that's why you do have the flexibility to make that move. I'm okay with bringing him back. I'll go on record saying it. I think he is that good. He's under contract. I don't think there's a need to move him, but I fully understand if he is.
I also like you're absolutely correct that he is good. Like don't get me wrong, he is good. I'm just curious if we're at the point of he needs a different situation. Like is he butting heads with people, whether it's Sirianni or whoever, like too much that it's affecting the game overall? Like you can't have that because he is that good. He should not be dropping those catches. Like it's impacting his playing, and that's when it becomes questionable. I'm not going to be mad if we don't move on from him. I am just beyond not shocked if we do.
Yeah, no, I think that's well put. And I think part of it's going to honestly depend on what he says after the game. Like, is he own up to it or is he try to throw blame? I think that's going to be a big factor as well.
Yeah,
We
maybe
really
he'll
don't know.
pull a book out in the press conference or something. I don't
Maybe
know.
he'll avoid the media again and then just tweet about it.
Honestly, if he avoids the media, I respect that. Like that's a non like as long as he doesn't go up on a podium and he says, "Yeah, I mean, I just didn't have the right opportunities." Like, bitch, yes you did. You literally like as long he has one of three options. He can either A avoid the media, which I'm fine with. He can either B go up and accept the blame, which I'm fine with, or he can C go up there and not accept the blame, in which case get him out of town.
Yeah, Again, and that's the problem is he's a wild card, so you really don't know what it's going to be.
You have
It's
no idea. I guess lastly, I gotta say it. I gotta say it. I've seen so many memes about it while we're talking about getting people out of town. The greatest kicker of our generation, the greatest Eagles kicker maybe of all time, but Jake Elliott with the missed field goal. I don't care that there's 30 miles per hour wind. The other guy didn't have any missed field goals. The other or extra
maybe
points.
he missed the extra point too.
No, I thought that was blocked. Didn't we block it? Because it went like all the way to the left.
Maybe I didn't know we got a hand on it, but we might have.
I thought it wasn't just wind based. I just Jake had a bad year, man. And look, I'm not saying put him out to pasture yet, but again, if you want to tell me we're gonna move on from someone, and I'm not surprised, it's gonna be Jake Elliott.
I mean,
He
we'll see
had
what
a
happens.
bad year, and technically, we talked about last year he had a bad year, and then he went and had an absurdly good postseason. Like he had a great playoff run that he ran that high last year, and I'm absolutely thankful for him. And like I said, Eagle for all time, one of the greatest, if not the best kicker. Does he pass David Akers? I guess I would probably say yes. Um, but I this was I think I'm ready to move on. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Jake. I'm sorry. Please come on the podcast and I'll tell you you're the best. But I'm sorry.
I mean, you make the extra point, you're kicking a field goal there on 4th and 10.
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
but again, they
Uh,
missed one too. That's where it kind of washes out. But
that's
uh,
what I just. It's just the
this
whole
stinks.
thing. It's
I
the
mean,
whole. It's the whole team.
yeah, this one
That's what that
stinks.
guy. Like jokes aside, though, that's what happens. You win as a team and you die as a team, and that's we dead, man. We are dead. It is dead from the neck up, dead from the neck down. But hey, that's life.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everyone for listening. Philly Sports Now, Philly fan podcast. It's a sad time right now, and I have nothing further to say. I don't know, Andrew. Any last thoughts before we get out of here? I'm gonna eat this candy cane that I'm toying around with. I've eaten a dozen cookies in my absolute
Hey, we
like.
all get over the loss in different ways.
I had a bag of leftover Christmas cookies at the end of the game. It was like a bag of chips. I was shoving them in. It was just I don't know. That's just I ruined my diet for sure.
That's what. Not my last thing, I guess. I don't care. I'm crossing sports. Dave Dabrowski, we need Bo Bichette signed tomorrow during that meeting on Monday. More than ever.
Yes,
Let's just say that. You got a lot of pressure on you now after that game because the meeting's on Monday during the day. So
yeah,
if I
that was
got
certainly
something
a
to say,
decision to make that tomorrow,
yeah, we need that more than
huh?
ever.
Yeah, we'll be well, thank you everyone for listening, but in that sense, I will say we will be moving on to Sixers and Flyers as a focus. But of course, as Andrew just alerted to, we have some Phillies coming up. Andrew, pitchers catchers?
Coming up, February. Actually, they haven't officially announced the date yet, but it'll be mid-February.
Okay, I was honestly I was disappointed. I was asking for a countdown. I figured you were gonna
The
be like,
last time I read, it still said it wasn't fully announced yet. So we'll
all
see what
right,
happens.
well, Andrew will let you know. So make sure you subscribe and follow on Spotify. Thank you everyone for listening to Philly Sports Now, a Philly fan podcast. And for the last time this year, as always, go Birds. Good night.